Only be a minute?
Get going. No, they're fine.
Yeah, we get started. Alright. I think that's had its effect.
Hasn't gone.
Well, welcome everybody. Everybody's got a seat? There's a few spares. And you can hear us up the back? Yeah, cool. Alright, and the bathrooms are out that way if you need to go. I'd like to welcome you all, of course, to Magpie House for this special event. And my name's George Neo, if you didn't know. And before we start, I'd like to give you another invitation beyond this evening to our end of season event, which is on the Saturday, the 13th of December. And we're starting around 5 or 6 or even 7. And it's a food to share evening, food to share gathering. We're going to have some live ambient music, and we'll also be sharing some of the John of God and Crystal Bed testimonials, right? So a lot of you have heard about that as well. And some of those testimonials have been sensational. I can honestly say that. An example of one is one lady that came off the crystal bed. She told us afterward that she was asked, you know, in her inner ear or whatever, wherever it comes from, whether she was asked permission to take her lungs out and renew them and put them back. That's not the only testimonial we've had. We've had another guy who went to the Sydney event, and when he came back, he did his usual chiropractic consultation, and the chiropractor was intuitive, and as soon as he started working, he said, "Oh, I'm not supposed to do this. You're under care already," and that was a reference to the entities, the John of God entities. Right? And we've got lots of testimonials. I've tried to get people to write them down, but they haven't done it yet. Okay, so hopefully they'll be here that night to do that. And about 8 p.m, we're going to be screening one of the most special movies we've ever shown. It's called After This Life. There's a guy up in Queensland who has got a very special ability. He's the only person I've heard of that can step into the light and also come back. Right? So usually when you go into the light, you can't come back. Right? But he's got this special ability because he has taken hundreds of people over into the light who are lost between the worlds. And the list of topics is just phenomenal. And that's one page. There's another page. So if anybody wants to have a look at that. So I can highly recommend that. Please do come along. Now, as well as the crystal bed, I'd like to mention the biomat, which is another crystal bed, and it's being used right now in the corner here. It's got an amethyst crystal base, and the little control mechanism on the side there activates an infrared healing light or heat, one of the two, same thing, and people get some pretty dramatic healing from it. Right? So what's interesting about that is on the spiritual side we've got the crystal bed that the John of God entities designed, and on the material side we've got some very clever people who put together this device. Right? So there's a merging of spirit and matter happening on the planet, and that's the subject of a talk I gave a few weeks ago called Healing Convergence. There's a little screen at the beginning. These are available by donation. If you're interested, there's a lot of information on there about the merging of spirit and matter. Right? It kind of fulfills the, what I say on here, it kind of fulfills the ancient prophecy. Why are you amazed? These things and more you will do also. So we're coming into that time where we're, you know, as we go into the age of Aquarius, perhaps that's the time to do it. So we're on to Trevor now. And what I can, just briefly with Trevor, you okay there? Hang on. Yeah, what I can say with Trevor, he's not just a medium, he's a teacher, an educator for people getting out on platform and stage and speak. And a lot of us can agree that getting out on stage and speaking is pretty scary, isn't it? Yeah. So Trevor helps us to overcome that and at the same time work with spirit. And if you use that talent at a funeral, say, right, a lot of people would prefer to be in the coffin than be out the front. Right? It's that scary. One of the scariest things humans can do. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Trevor, and what I'd like you to do, Trevor, is stay in the light. Not too far away from that.
Go to the light. Don't cross over, Trevi.
Yeah, don't cross over. Oh,
Say that slower for me.
stay in the light. And the one last thing is, and perhaps it's related to the modality that I teach as well, is with the yoga, that is. Life isn't about indulging in the spirit world, not too much, right? You've still got to be in the physical, material world and master that, right? So I encourage everybody to look after themselves and do some practice. That's what I teach, and of course we've got Faye with the modalities and the bed there. You've got some brochures you can give out, yeah, your general brochure, and she's available for consultations. And that's on the material side. And on the spiritual side, we've got Elizabeth over here, who does the Reiki and the spiritual readings. Okay? So now it's over to you.
Right, thank you very much. I'm just going to come to that. My biggest hate is mobile phones. When they go off, I hate it. Yeah. I never carry my mobile phone. We went down to work for Joan King the other day. I didn't know my phone was in my top pocket. What did it do? Go off right in the middle of the
demonstration. That's a good
demonstration.
point, because my other DVD on by donation is the Electromagnetic Survival Guide.
Right, so if you wouldn't mind just turning that mobile phone off.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, on your brochure, it's a small piece of white paper. If you'd like to mark down on that whether you'd like coffee or tea or things, the lady, Sue, has a restaurant down there which should be selling coffees and teas. We'll give her an idea of how many before we stop for 10 minutes in about an hour's time. Right? So it just helps it. So if you just write down what you'd like. I would like a Scotch and dry, I'm not going to get it. Right, so why have we set this venue up? We have some brilliant mediums coming up for the future. And I mean for the future. But they're not getting the opportunity to step forward because of not the classes, it's because where we can put them on platform. Chris Shepherd has some brilliant people working for her. There's other people, Jackie Staples I know has some lovely people working for her. Do they have the opportunity? It's very hard. So I'm hoping that Chris and Jackie will loan us one of their students on one of these nights to help them move forward. I haven't asked Chris yet. I will when I see her next. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it, yes, all right. So ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to start with this demonstration now. Now I know I'm drawn to the lady over the back there. May I come to you with the white blouse on?